quick demonstration of how to use this copper trolling paddle. It's a way to troll copper in order to get deep, usually where the bigger fish are. Usually is what I do is put a glove on the right hand. I'm right-handed. Get your boat trolling, the direction and roughly the speed. You can go a little bit faster as you're letting it out, but what you want to do is, I've got about 10 or 15, maybe up to 20 feet of monofilament or fluorocarbon leader. So as you're trolling, as you're moving in your boat, go ahead and get that out, and then you can see now I've got my first little bit of copper. So get that down to the water, and then is what I do is, depending on where I'm finding the fish, you want to drop this copper down to that depth, and the first 25 wraps, as you're letting it out, it's going to start sinking quite fast and getting your bait or your lure or whatever you're trolling down there. And so you get down to the depth you want. The first swivel's at 25 wraps, which is roughly 75 feet. The next is another 75 feet. So to the second swivel is going to be out roughly 50 wraps. So that's roughly 50 feet down, because this larger board is designed to the length so that one complete wrap puts your depth down 1 foot. So 50 wraps is going to put you down roughly 50 feet. So depending on where you're marking the fish with your fish finder, you can put this pretty much right where the fish are at as you bring it over the top of them. Sometimes once I get to the depth I want, I'll just set this on my lap or set it in the bottom of the boat, and usually you just put the copper line in your finger and you hold it off to the side of the boat. Some guys like to jig it, kind of move it, give it some more action. It depends what you're trolling, what you're trying to do. Usually I'll just hold it fairly steady. Once in a while I'll speed it up a little bit. And you have your finger kind of on the tip of it. And usually, you know, if you're trying to go right to the bottom, usually you can feel the bottom. You know, you can feel it tugging on the bottom. And then when a fish hits it, it usually hits it pretty hard. So sometimes you can give it a little set the hook. And then at that point, a lot of the bigger fish, you know, won't fight much at first. They'll just come right to you, so you can just wrap it on your board as it's coming in. Usually once it gets into the boat, it'll take off running, so you kind of have to be ready and just pinch the line into your fingertips, and you just rock this board and the line will come right off. So as they take line as they run, you can give them a little line and let them take it, and then as they slow down, just bring them back in. The benefit of using this is that it's very cost effective. It's the most affordable way to troll deep. You can go much deeper than lead core line. You can get down roughly this 300 feet of copper. You can get down to close to 90 to 100 feet, depending on what you're trolling and how fast you're trolling. Typically I like to troll slow. Some guys like to go a little bit faster. I like to keep it under 2 miles an hour, between 1.5 and 2, just depends what you're doing. But you know, it's very easy. You can see it as you're going along. You can see a fish that's maybe up 10 feet or down 10 feet. You can just drop down, you know, 10 wraps and you're there, or you can hurry and put 10 back on and you're there, and then as you go over it, hopefully you'll get the strike. But anyway, check out my website, trollingcopper.com, and check out these boards. Like I said, I prefer the bigger board that's designed for 1 wrap equals 1 foot of depth. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and email me. You can get a hold of me on my website, and I'd be glad to answer any other questions you have. Thanks.